talking Manchester United. And we've got Dave from Crewe. How you doing, Dave?
Mark, this is an absolute honour and a pleasure to talk to you, mate. I follow you so much on the United stand, pal. And I think you talk a lot of sense, lad. And where do we start with our club at the moment?
Well, Dave, hold on a minute. You're not welcome. I'm here as well, mate. Can you?
I'll tell you something, Carlton.
Yeah, go on.
I'll tell you something, Carlton. If we had somebody up front, who can finish like you, we might be in the top 4 position.
Nah, mate. You'll be relegated. You'll be relegated. You don't want me up front, mate. I tell you. You got Ronaldo, mate.
No, you're a good player, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Backup.
Yeah, backup. I'll do the backup stuff. Yeah. I'll get that changing room in the right order, though. Definitely.
Backup to Ronaldo's not a backup, is it? It's just a normal striker.
Well, that's like what Benzema was a backup to Ronaldo, wasn't he? So there's no shame in that.
There's not. Dave, you're speaking about Manchester United. Where do you start? Well, we were talking about Erik Ten Hag. We were talking about transfers. We've been linked to Frankie de Jong. Do you think we should be spending a lot of money on 2 players or buying 4 or 5? Where do you stand on this?
I agree with what you've said over the week. I would go for the 4 or 5, mate. I said, you know, I think we should be looking at De Jong. Absolutely, if we can get him for 60-odd million, absolutely spot on. He's a great player, but also we should be looking at players like. I'd love to see Eriksen at Old Trafford. I think he's a class act, and to try and get him on a free, and play him alongside Donny van der Beek, it was another signing in a way. I think this guy. I think he's got his head screwed on, this Erik Ten Hag. I think he's sort of in the Guardiola mould, and I think he's going to do good for us.
Do you think someone like Ten Hag's going to get that dressing room into shape? How do you think he's going to come in the first day? What's the first day when he walks into that changing room and dressing room and talks to his players? What do you think he's going to say?
I don't think he's going to stand any messing about, Carlton. I think he's made...
You think he's firm, yeah? You think he's a firm person?
Oh, absolutely. I think Ragnick's sort of giving what's gone on over the season, and surely he's been watching in the background as well. He's been watching what's going on and who's playing for who and who's what. And I don't think he's going to stand any nonsense. And if he doesn't want him, he'll get him out, and whoever he wants in, he'll get in.
But apparently he's already said, if you're not part of this and you're a free transfer or whatever, I don't want you coming on pre-season. Get your job done, get out of the club, which is great from his point of view.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely spot on. And that's why I respect him so much. He's not going to stand any of this rubbish with the players and all this. And Rashford's apparently come out. I don't know whether it's true or not. Rashford's apparently come out and he said, well, I want to play because I want to play for England in the World Club. Hold on a minute, mate. You want to start playing for United, it's not England.
It's true, isn't it? You've got to get the first part done first.
You can't demand...
Manchester United pay your wages, mate, not England. Start playing for United before you think about England, bud. You know.
Yeah, and this is the sort of thing that I was trying to talk about. The dressing room, and that I just don't think they've got it right, like in the dressing room. And I think even Ronaldo's struggling with all of his experience, trying to advise these basically kids. No, this is not how you do it. This is how you do it, and they're just obviously not listening to him.
You've been in the dressing room though, Carlton. Yeah. How Cristiano Ronaldo comes into the West Ham dressing room, go to the game. Carlton, you need to be in doing this training.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. Is that what's that all about?
I don't think it's one of those ones where. Listen, I've never been in the dressing room with Ronaldo, so I don't know his delivery. There's a certain way you can talk to the modern day footballers, because they're not. Remember, Ronaldo's come from a different era and he's still playing in their era, and he's still really good. But the problem is he might not know, and he's probably coming back into the English game where the culture's changed from the time when he was in playing and in his pump in the Premier League. So the boys have changed the way they look at their phones all the time. They're always looking at their phone. You might have to communicate in a different way. So what he's probably said is that he probably can't really get into them the way, and he's gonna, and that's a different skill. Obviously I do the 16s at West Ham, and you have to talk to him in a certain way. You can't talk to them like your mate. You have to talk to them in a certain way where they understand you and you can understand where they're coming from. But you have to have that understanding, or else no one's going to listen to you. So yeah, it's a big thing for Man United right now, and how they attack that, and who is Ten Hag going to make the leader? Because you got to have someone running the dressing room. You have to have someone running the dressing room, and who's he's going to be his man that he talks to regularly to see what the temperature in the dressing room feels like.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Dave, look, thanks very much for coming on, and appreciate you being the first caller on the talkSPORT Weekender now. And he was gone. Yeah. Well, I was going to get used to that. Yeah. I think that I think you're right. I think the leadership thing is really important, and it'll be interesting to see who he makes as the captain. Anyway, we've got Hassan on the line now. Hassan, can you hear us? How you doing?
I can hear you, Mark. How are you? How are you, Carlton?
How you doing? I got greetings. I had a greeting because this seems like the Mark Goldbridge show today.
Not bad when he forgot you were there, man.
I do need a little tickle sometimes, mate.
Yeah. That's cool, bro.
Hassan, what do you want to talk about, mate?
Oh, I mean, like Dave, where to start? But you know what? I'm trying to build on what Dave said in a more kind of positive light. You know, I was watching The Dark Knight earlier today, and there's a quote in there which I love, and I think it's relevant for all United fans. The dark is darkest just before the dawn, and that's what's keeping me going as a United fan when we're getting smacked 4-0.
Yeah, I can't wait for the summer, Hassan. I really can't, and I think that Ten Hag, I think, is the right man. But one thing I did want to talk to you about, actually, and I was going to ask Carlton about this. Calvin Phillips is involved in a relegation battle, and he's a player that's been linked with Manchester United. Calvin Phillips to Manchester United, Hassan, is he the right profile of player, and do you think he would come to us from Leeds?
Absolutely perfect. I mean, okay, there's one issue, which I know he's a Leeds born and bred, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Leeds have that rivalry with United. So that may be the only obtuse factor. But if not him, Tuchemani. But I think what you said about him getting relegated and his market value dropping, I think the same goes for Rafinha. So, absolutely, I think Calvin Phillips, I would love him. You know, he's brilliant for England. He's brilliant for Leeds. He's a classy player, and he's young. You know.
Yeah. Look. See, with Phillips, that would be a perfect player. A perfect player. I know you've got Fred. You got Fred. You got McTominay. But I think he'll be a perfect player to protect your back four, back three, whoever you're going to play next season. He's one of those ones that. Very disciplined. That's what you need. You need discipline in that midfield.
Exactly, man. Exactly, bro. You speak facts, my guy, because that's what it's all about. It's just about having someone stable and reliable there. And then I think Rafinha, man, I think he's limited at Leeds, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think if he can come to a big club, I think he can almost reach, maybe not to the same level, but somewhere close to Mahrez in the future, right?
Yeah, I think... Absolutely. I think with Phillips, it'll be very interesting. I think it's more a Leeds thing than it is United. We're like, yeah, come and play for us, but they really do see us as a rival. If we've got any Leeds fans watching, you've got a relegation to worry about. But you know, they do really, they do. Alan Smith did it. If he gets relegated, I'm sure he will do it. But look, Hassan, thank you very much for calling in, pal.
Cheers, Hassan.
Take care, guys.
Take care.